Welcome to Ignite Denver 31, their new home at the Bug Theater. This is awesome. I'm very excited. Please welcome to the stage your host for this evening, Kat Atwell.
I'm very unsuccessfully trying to smash my cell phone into my back pocket. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ignite Denver 31. So stoked that you're here. I'm going to be drinking wine. There will be an explanation for it here in a moment. I'm Kat Atwell. I'm going to be your host for the evening. Totally stoked that you're here. The reason that I'm holding wine, has anybody here not seen the Carol Burnett dentist sketch? If you haven't, Google it later. The reason is I've had a root canal within the last 24 hours. So right now there's a lot of heavy narcotics and wine in my system. So here's the thing, you guys. Right now, tonight, we're asking people to try something that they've never tried before. That might be extreme baking or doing the incline in the middle of a bomb cyclone. Who knows? Maybe. I've heard that it's been done. And the thing is, with Ignite speakers, we don't ask that anybody be perfect. We just ask that you try your best. And the way that the talks go is that they have 5 minutes, 20 slides that advance automatically every 15 seconds. So yes, they have 5 minutes to wow you with information. Here's the thing. We have a food truck outside, what starts with F and ends with uck, food truck, but also fuck, because I swear a lot. So if you haven't already checked out bits and pieces outside, they are out of nachos and al pastor, but they have lots of other stuff, so don't be worried. 3 things here that are going to go real fast. Ignite Denver, we support everybody on stage, but we might not agree with what they're saying. YouTube, this goes really fast. If you miss it, it's going to be on YouTube later. You should go check out our YouTube channel. Shilling, if people are telling you what they want to sell you, stop listening and feel free to boo. So I'm here to talk about the bomb cyclone that happened last Wednesday. That's Corey Reppenhagen. He loved the snow. I was not real thrilled about it because I hate wind and it causes me anxiety disorders. Now, for those of you, has anybody else, are you guys familiar with this picture? Yeah, this was the power outages in Metro Denver the day of the thing. Fortunately, I didn't lose power, but every one of my friends did, which was a bummer. And this is why I had so much anxiety. This was the wind stream during last Wednesday's event. There's a legitimate name for wind phobia. I don't remember what it is. It starts with an A. You should feel free to look it up later. Caused me some problems. I went into panic mode, which meant that I called everyone I knew to tell them that I was panicking. My mother in North Carolina was like, well, that's funny. Just stop being anxious. If anybody wants to talk to me about mental health advocacy later, let me know. She also suggested perhaps I bake and take my mind off things. I'm not a baker, but desperate times call for desperate measures, so I decided I would go for it. And now I'm going to drink a wine. I don't like baking. I suck at it. I've always sucked at it. But my daughter had a snow day, and so I'm like, oh, hey, family bonding, and mommy's out of Xanax. That's how that worked. It's this tooth right here, by the way. Here's the thing about baking that makes it particularly tricky. I grew up in the Midwest where I didn't have to abide by any special rules, but here we have something called high-altitude baking, which fucks everything up and makes it all confusing for me. You Google it and you might find one rule, but then you can't. I went to the grocery store the night before the bomb cyclone to get something entirely unrelated to baking. No shit, I took these pictures while in line to buy pads and tampons. Couldn't pass that up, but that's what I had. I didn't get chocolate chips, which bummed me out because those are the one cookies that I do know how to make fairly successfully, so I had to come up with something else, which brought great sadness to my family who knows that I can't bake. More wine. All right, so those clearly aren't snickerdoodles. My pictures from my phone sucked. But I did, if you want to Google this later, found a recipe called Mrs. Sig's Snickerdoodles, which did, in fact, kick ass. Those are macarons. Now, one of the first rules when you make high-altitude baking recipes is that you have to somehow change the baking soda. That's baking soda. I thought that was the only thing you had to do. If you thought so as well, you were wrong. Here's all the things that I had to do to turn my cookies into something glorious. This is why YouTube is important. Don't try and write all this down now. Go back later when you're at home with your own wine. I don't know how to use the the temperature symbol. So here's the thing. Afterwards, I got on Twitter and was looking up hashtag COWX because I'm a weather nerd. And somebody else noted that they were baking because it was cold out. And I'm like, oh, I baked too. There's my shitty picture of snickerdoodles. And then this lovely woman was like, I think we should start a thread of all the baked goods that people are baking. So we got a cake out of that. And then this is a woman that obviously does know how to take pictures for influencer accounts. But I wasn't alone. So, and here's the deal. Had I not had a root canal 24 hours ago, I would have had a very impressive stack of snickerdoodles at the back to hand out to all of you with copious apologies for everybody that was gluten-free or vegan, because those wouldn't have worked for you guys. What is important, though, is that that was 5 minutes, those were 20 slides, and that's how the Ignite presentations will be going.